Jan, good afternoon to you and welcome. These new regulations, without getting too technical, is this possibly the death knell for many restaurants? It's going to increase costs and simply they have a cash flow crisis.
Yes, Jeremy, you're quite right. We were hoping that there'll be more good news coming, but this is just more bad news. Restaurants, as we all know, have been extremely hard hit by COVID-19. So this comes at the worst possible time. Many have closed their doors, others have taken on loans, others are hanging by their fingernails. So these additional costs and the red tape that goes along with it is certainly not something that's welcomed at this stage.
And there's also the domino effect, isn't there? Because as they close, there is the inevitability of jobs being lost.
No, that is absolutely so. You know, there are many related industries that are also affected by this. You know, just as with the alcohol ban, you have related industries. So it's not only the restaurant industry, it's many others.
So explain this to me now. Restaurants and fast food outlets, from what I can determine, now have 30 days to register with the bargaining council. What happens if they don't do that? What sort of censure then do they face?
Well, they can be forced to register, and then there are penalties that are payable. They are even prescribed in the sectoral or in the bargaining council agreement. I don't have it at hand. But they would be held liable retrospectively. Let's say nobody registers, because I'd imagine the new bargaining council doesn't have its agents on the ground. It needs to develop its infrastructure, its enforcement infrastructure. So if in a number of months' time or in a year's time they were to come across an employer, that employer can be held liable retrospectively for the increase in the wages, as well as all the levies, the contributions to the Provident Fund and the death benefit.
Jan Truter, you're also quoted as saying that it's been a shock to the industry that few of the affected parties saw this coming. How could that be?
Yeah, it's strange. You know, people that own restaurants are not people that read the government gazette. And what is quite interesting here is that you have a bargaining council in the Gauteng region, and you have a bargaining council in the Pretoria region, which both govern these industries, restaurants, fast food outlets, etc. So they've been around for some time. The rest of the country has not been affected by this, and they've been covered by the hospitality industry sectoral determination. So this bargaining council seems to be very much modeled on the Gauteng bargaining council's not sectoral determination, bargaining council agreement. And the people that are affected are all those outside. So how it would seem to have germinated there and developed there, and the people that are affected by it are ones that are outside Gauteng and Pretoria. So the rest, essentially the rest of the country, they would have not been party, or very few of them would even have been aware of the establishment of this bargaining council and the intention to extend it to non-parties. So in my view, they have been blindsided. You know, if I just think of people that are subscribers to our services, they have no clue that this was coming. And it is very strange that the minister extended the bargaining council agreement that was entered into to non-parties, because the minister has to be satisfied that the unions, the trade unions and the employers' organizations that are party to that agreement are representative of at least 50% of employees and employers in that industry.
Right. Jan, I'm going to interrupt you there. I don't want us to get too technical from a legal perspective.
Yes.
What I do want to ask you in conclusion, restaurants, I read, are planning a legal challenge, all well and good, but it costs money to do that, money which many of them probably don't have.
Yes, no, that is so. But fortunately, they do belong to associations. there are also larger groups that are also coming to the party in opposing this. So there should be sufficient funds, at least, if everybody clubs together to fight this legal battle.
All right, we look forward to seeing what the restaurant industry is going to do. Jan Truter, thank you very much indeed from Labourwise.